All right, at 9 o'clock, call the meeting order for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. First on the agenda, County Clerk Christy Ricker, executive session.
I move that we go into the executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel, for a period of 30 minutes, starting at 9:01, and to return in this room at 8:30 or 9:31, including Sheriff Tyler.
Yes, sir.
And our attorney and Christie.
And what is
Employee performance.
okay?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to go into executive session for non-elected personnel and employee performance for 30 minutes, beginning at 9:01. Reopening this room, the Sheriff, Tyler, Christie, our attorney, and open at 9:31. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Morning.
Got a little rain this week. Ditch is all held up fine, right?
There's a couple of washed out.
All right, what you got?
You guys get your,
Hang on a second. We got a few more minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good catch.
Yeah. Apologize. We came out early so we can't start until 31.
no, it's the, keep those black notes.
All right. We're good now.
I sent you guys an email.
Yep.
This here is basically the stuff from the town meeting that we had. Wanted off that list we had, people had email addresses. I'm gonna send them a copy of this also. And hopefully if we missed any, they'll contact me and we didn't add it to it. But I think we got most everything that we took notes on.
I noticed there are a few down here that don't have roads in them, starting on line 26 to 30. It just says roads need check. The road needs check, but there is no road in here.
Okay, I'll go back and check my notes.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's got fire.
I've got that. Find that. So I was trying to do it at the same time.
Oh, right here. we'll get that fixed.
Okay.
Huh? We'll get that fixed.
Okay, sounds good.
You guys asked a question about that contract with Ham. We're still working on that. You know, they've changed hands a few times. It's Mark Marriott is the name of the company now.
Yep.
I talked to Troy this morning, and he's got it with their legal advice. So waiting. He says, as far as he knows, the 500 tons we do not have this year from them.
Well, what about previous years?
That's what we're checking out.
Oh, that's what you're checking out now, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Talked to Matt and Joe this morning about getting somebody started on our patching on the chip and seal roads and some of those blowouts and stuff to try to get started this week if we can. Our spill prevention or project that we have, all of our fuel tanks, inspections and all that stuff. We came out like a week and a half ago and did the walk around on. And again, the book that he sent us for all this stuff is, there's probably 100 mistakes in it. So we've gone back through and they marked it up to get that corrected. They didn't have our correct address. So we went through this last year with him.
Is it state inspector or?
He's a contracted inspector, but he works with the state.
Okay.
And he's the one that's been doing this for years, you know. Like I said, last year, we had stuff in there about, you know, us having oil tanks instead of fuel tanks, and the gallons of the tanks were all off, the addresses were off. So like I said, we went back through it again and marked it up, and we're scanning it and sent it to him today. We're not paying until we get it corrected.
Yeah.
And a question I got for him too is, he inspected our 3 tanks down here at the bridge yard, but he's, in his notes, he's saying that the owner is responsible for the tanks. And we are not technically the owners of the rest of the tanks, it's not mine. So I'm not getting confirmation from him. That's something we have to keep up with, or that's something that Fletcher's gonna have to keep up with. So,
Yeah.
confirmation on that.
Living the owner of the property though?
It said owner of the tanks. So that's why I have to verify what he's asking. Because last year we did all the tanks. The truck that's down, we've got the motor to work on. A lot of the parts came in last Friday, so start to clean that block up and get it squeezed, put it in pistons and all that stuff here. So hopefully, then next week, maybe have it up and going. Nothing else comes up. We got some folks out sick, so there's not a lot of, well, actually, we've done work on W Road today. With a couple truck drivers out. It's a mud spot right now, so it's kind of on hold.
In the South Carolina, I mean, not as much as like the Central area, but there's some help needed out there.
Yeah. And I did have a call on W this morning, and I just want to clarify that the road is the width that it's supposed to be now, correct?
24 feet.
Okay.
Right.
They thought that it was a little too narrow, and they thought the drop-offs were too much, but, I mean, if you build the road up, you're gonna have drop-offs into the ditch. I don't know how else to.
We talked about drop-offs this morning, about how we can, you know, again, let us finish.
Yeah.
We've been getting phone calls, you know, right in the middle of the first curve we were doing out there. You know, we're getting phone calls about that, and I thought, well, we're not even done. You know, let's get it done before you start wanting to put tubes in.
Sure. Okay. I just wanted to bring that up, just so you know that conversation's out there.
Yeah, there is a significant drop off. If I'll talk to the guys on putting some up there. It's not gonna be there, it's not a temporary, it's not a permanent thing, we're gonna have a slope.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call it out.
Okay.
The only other thing I got is some payroll changes.
Any additional information on the truck down at Dodge?
Basically, I'm getting into the end of the day, to have something figured out. I talked to him last week, I've got everything that they have done to it. He just does not have a total cost at this point. When I
But
talked-
do they still have any idea what is wrong with it?
They got that new ECM in, and it still didn't fix the problem, and they've been on the phone with, it's called Star, he said it's the IT, basically Chrysler, and he says that they're back and forth with them, I say call, they email back and forth,
Yeah.
they don't call. So that takes a little time there, and they've done everything that they're telling them to do, and it's still not fixing the problem. That's kind of where I was last Thursday when I talked to him last. Again, I tried to call him this morning, and he was tied up at the moment, so, like I said, talked to Bryson, I think, like I said, by the end of the day, if they don't have something fixed, we're gonna pull it and take it to ice.
Okay.
I'll give them a list of everything that they've done.
Okay.
And you have set up an account with,
I said, we do not need to set an account.
Don't
They
need
said,
it.
we'll make an appointment, take it in, and then they take care of everything.
they'll send a bill there and.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, also emailed you guys the list of roads. Joe's got something to call him.
What was your takeaway from the township meetings?
I thought they were good. I mean, I liked that it wasn't just, pothole. They had some good points about, the narrow roads. And again, it's just something that has to be looked at, because like I said, you got some of those right of ways, they're only 40 feet, and basically you got road, a steep bank, and a fence.
Right.
So unless you guys want to go in and start purchasing the easements and right of ways to make them wider, some of those roads, you're not gonna be able to widen them out.
Yeah.
So again, that's just, they're on the list here, just have to discuss them.
Right.
What you want done.
Well, I thought it was a good meeting too. I think that we got a lot of good information. I think that you're correct, and I think that I tried to drive home the point at every meeting that we had that this wasn't about, I got a pothole in front of my driveway. This was about trying to come up with a long-range plan for the county per township to try to prioritize what needs to be done, where it needs to be done, and so on and so forth. I think it was a good meeting myself.
And I had a conversation with Matt. He actually enjoyed it. And I was glad to hear that. The information he gathered from out there, he said would be real helpful.
Okay.
And people were appreciative too,
Yeah, I think the only thing moving forward would be we had some people who kind of followed answered the questions, and then there were a lot of conversations that delve off into things that this didn't apply to. So I think out of respect for people's time, we need to make sure that we're keeping the meeting flowing and not spending 3 hours or 2.5 hours because we're having conversations about things that don't actually apply to that.
Yeah.
But I think,
Well, I didn't know it could be working wrong too. Like I said, I'm gonna email the address that I have with this list once we get fixed. And, just put out there if there's something we missed, let me know. and possibly, if you guys are okay with it, you say, hey, if you guys have things to add before the meeting, or have something come up, just email me, and maybe we'll have an answer for you at the next meeting, instead of just, having to wait.
I've got no problem with that.
And some places, the grader operators kind of fine tuned or watched or something,
Yeah.
listen to the people. There were places where you didn't feel like,
A couple of them already.
okay.
Okay, perfect. You think of anything else?
Just a note, we got a bill from Sansari, you guys
Yeah.
sent it to me, so we'll talk about that.
Still working on that?
Well, we'll talk about it in pretty much time.
Okay. Perfect. All right, sounds good. Thank you. I'd like to go into executive session if I could for 10 minutes. Employee, non-elected personnel employee for performance.
I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel for a period of 10 minutes.
Yep.
Starting at 9:42, returning to this room at 9:52.
It's almost 9:43. It's 9:43 now.
Oh, okay, 9:43. Returning at 10:50, or 9:43, 53, let's get it right here.
Yeah.
For employee performance, have our attorney Christie.
Yep. All right, been properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for matters non-elected personnel, employee performance for 10 minutes. Reopen this room. Christie, our attorney, and the board. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. All right, we got a payroll change resignation from the sheriff's department. We have two designation of emergency vehicles from Point. So I guess it's Point Fire. And it looks like they have all of the approvals that they need, except for this one, for a Jessica Hewitt and a Jeffrey Mosstetler. The objection to the designation of emergency vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay. You sign these? Yep. Monica, you got better terrapins than she brings the whole pile.
Makes you work.
Okay, on this one, we received a bill for $50 for a blood draw.
Okay.
In the contract, it says that they will do free blood draws if requested
Fine, all.
by an office.
Yes.
So that was our question on that one.
Okay.
And Brent just wanted you to know that they're working on getting the financials.
Okay.
And the reason they billed us for that is they sent it to the county attorney and then the person leaves institution. But I don't think we should have been billed for it if it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Is it part of the restitution order? Do you know that?
I don't know that for sure. This is just what you're,
This young lady that.
Well, I mean, the answer is to modify the restitution. They have, we had to pay for it. It's fair. Then we didn't, he did it.
right.
The first question is whether we should have paid for it.
See, I don't think so. Unless it focuses on your audit, it's something else.
Well, did they, yeah, well, that might be,
Because I don't think the bill states, just as
I don't know why else they would do that.
Isn't that what she's?
Well, yeah, billing insurance to patient is hard.
then they could get the review from the insurance company.
Yeah, I would say that's, sit back and say that's not it. It's, if you're gonna charge, you're not gonna waive the charge and let the prosecutor know. Because that's not very good opinion.
So I got a question, since we have a few minutes, so I'll do have a few minutes. 10 o'clock? No, we'll talk.
Hey, if you got questions,
Well, I don't have a question for you, I was just gonna bring up a general topic.
okay, well,
I'm
I'll
not-
defer to your, since it's a friend of mine, go ahead.
All right, so, when we talked about Rapid Care last year, on the chip and seal roads, right? Just a straight crack repair, out on Lewis Road, and it was turned into a nightmare. So, you know, I say at the time, there's several other repair options that we can look into. If the headite, again, that's a crack repair, is not sufficient, which obviously we saw that it wasn't, right? And that we've been told that it wasn't. Would it behoove us to look into contracting out the crack repair like that with just a straight hot tar, with contracting that does the hot tar? Because they did some on the city streets down here before they chip and seal them. One was right down in front of the maintenance office down there at, right across from the elementary school. They went through there and hot tarred it, and then came back the next day and chip and sealed it. And you can't tell anywhere where there was a crack that they tarred. So I don't know if we want to look into something like that, if that's an option to look into a contractor to come in and do that. I don't think that we can afford the equipment for it. I wouldn't think unless we bought it used.
What's the difference between that and what we're doing?
With the rock. They don't put any rock in there, it's just hot tar to fill the crack. And it only comes out about yay far from the edge, it's pretty much smooth
Why
across.
can't we do that? Aren't we putting hot tar in there?
With the heatite. I don't believe that I don't think it's not hot tar, it's an oil. It's an oil base that they heat up.
I don't know enough about it. That'd be a road bridge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do we want them to look, give direction to look into that, or not? I mean, that's kind of where I'm going with that, because if what we're doing on the cracks, not on the actual patching, but just on the small cracks is not sufficient, then, so I just soon look into something like that and see what it comes up with. See if we can contract out something like that, see if it needs to be done, go ahead and do the bigger patches with the heatite and the oil, as we have in the past, but for the cracks, I don't know.
I don't know enough about it to know one from the other, whether it'd be good. I think you want to have that conversation with road bridge.
I think that's something we'll probably need to bring up to them and see. Like I say, if you want any of the chip and seal road that I know for sure in front of the maintenance office and then between the maintenance office and the elementary school up there on Dakota, you drive down that and it's they came through and tarred that before they chip and seal it. You can't tell any place to tar it. So that's just an option, something I want to bring up. So yeah, we make a note to talk to Road and Bridge next week and see what they think, see what they can come up with. So.
I mean, if it's something that you're interested in, I wouldn't wait till next week.
I'd go out and talk to Scott and
Yeah, I would have
Joe
to
and
have a conversation with them. I just don't know anything, and I just don't know enough about whether.
I'll stop past on the way home and say something, because I think it's something we need to look into, because like I said, if what we're doing is not working, and as I stated, we had the meetings on this, I'm perfectly willing to look into something else to see what will work. So, okay. All right, Todd, thank you.
No problem. Sam Sarah, we just got a regular bill. It wasn't anything specific to what I had written, so I thought on the responses, unless you guys have a different one, is to say, I'm going to write it and say, I got it. Didn't answer me. You need to perform on your end of the bargain before we're going to pay you.
Yep.
Fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so I'll do that. I contacted Jared Root. And I forwarded your request for a meeting, and he said, why don't we meet first? And so I said, okay, he didn't have a lot of time, he was going to the flight. So he said, so we couldn't really dig into it then. But we have a Teams meeting, I think it's a Teams meeting on the 16th. So I'll give him the lay of the land and your desire in regards to the meeting, and try to set the table a little bit, if you don't mind, just to get everybody on task.
Sure.
So, that's really the things I got. We're in this.
Okay.
And the AG letter went out, the letter went out, so.
What's that?
The letter about the bid issue went out to Vance Brothers, and letter to AG, so.
Okay.
Probably the only thing else on the list is bid states, so I just, do you want me to go ahead and start a new draft of those contracts, bid states and hands, or we wait to figure out where hands is?
On hands, well, apparently Road and Bridge is trying to contact them, getting something around since they've changed hands, but I would like to, before we do anything with mid-state or with hands, I would like to find out if we have engaged our 500 tons that the contract states.
I think that's probably pretty important.
Yeah,
Is there something?
and then we can negotiate from there.
Well, I just know if you wanted to start
I mean, as far as that, yeah, but,
kind of
I
knowing.
think the
Okay.
things that we were kind of looking at were the, cost per ton, the rebate per ton coming out of there, right? That was one of the things we had talked about
Hands?
on both of them, correct? And then taking care of the haul routes.
Okay.
Dust control and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Got
So,
it.
yeah, I think that'd be a good place to start on that, so, okay.
All right. Anything for me?
Anything about, I don't think I have any.
It looks like you got Steve. later
Yeah,
on with something, so I can hang around, that's,
I was gonna say, can we see if Steve's available and move him up the agenda a little bit?
I don't have a problem with that.
Do you guys have a problem with him moving up?
They're expecting me to talk for an hour like you. Even if it's done in that office yet? She's just down the hall now, right?
Well, yeah, he's just down the hall.
You have to sign up, but he'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay. You put a sign up that so you come in here.
I should.
Yeah, see, put a stick in front.
request another executive session for non-elected personnel on an HR complaint,
On what?
HR complaint.
Is it long?
10 minutes.
Move that we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel for a period of 10 minutes starting at 10:13, returning at 10:23. Resume in this office for HR complaint to include our attorney and Christie.
Okay, probably moved second to go into executive session for non-elected personnel, HR complaints. Attorney Christie and the board in this 10 minutes, reopening at what time?
10:20.
10:23. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.